Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today we're going to do my first YouTube challenge. It's a $25 prepping from the Dollar General store that's going to go on for 6 weeks. Miss Susan's Ramblings was challenged and she invited her subscribers to the challenge. So the original person that started the challenge is called Miss Linda's Prepper Kitchen. I have spoke to her and she was very welcoming and said, yes, do it. The more people we have, the merrier. So that's pretty cool. So if you would like to participate in this challenge, the way it's going to work is you post $25 6-week challenge from the Dollar General store and tag the person that you learned about the challenge from. So my video would be Miss Susan, and then hers would be Miss Linda. So you just keep, so if anyone else wants to participate, you would do the same title, tag me in it, and then that way everyone that sees your video can go back and watch the other people's idea of what they came up with for preps on the $25 challenge. And she done the challenge at $25 for 6 weeks to help people on limited incomes so that they too could prep and fill their pantries on a budget. So the first items that I got today, and the challenge is going to be on every Monday, but if you missed the first Monday and you want to join in, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's all that particular or anything. It's kind of like a collaboration, but not really. We're just tagging people in it that want to participate so that we all can learn different ideas and viewpoints and come up with different ideas for stocking our pantry. So if you want to join the challenge, feel free to do so. The first item that I got was Tang. I went with Tang because it wasn't the cheapest, but I think it's important because during the winter months we need some vitamin C to help build our immune system, and it would give water some extra flavor. If we were in a grid down situation or water was hard to get a hold to, I know lots of people would be tired of just drinking plain water, but I'm thinking winter and extra vitamin C would be very good to help build our immune systems. These were $1.50 each. I have 3 of them. I'll try to remember to say my prices of each item. Green tea. I think green tea is important. For those of you that watch my channel, you know I do a lot of herbal teas, but this is prepper items, so green tea does help you feel better, and you could drink it hot or cold for $1 a box. I think that's a really good item to add to your pantry. Bouillon cubes. This is the beef. I'll probably get the chicken next time just to have a little extra on hand in the pantry. Beef bouillon cubes are good to add to soups and stews and pastas and casseroles. And if you're not feeling good, you can just drink you a hot cup of broth and it will help you feel better. This was $2.50. I'm so sad because these used to be like $1.50, but as we know, the prices are going up. So it is going to be a little challenging to do this on a budget, but we're going to do it, and it's going to work, and you're going to have some good stuff in your pantry, and everyone sharing their tips and ideas is just going to give us all that many more ideas. Okay, we have the onion soup mix, which is another good one for making casseroles. If you just wanted a bowl of soup, that would work too, but you also can add this for seasoning to like meatloaf, and you wouldn't need any other seasoning. You can make a great meatloaf or a hamburger or whatever you want to make with it, and also good to have during the winter months if you just need a nice bowl of hot soup. These were $1 a box. I got 2 cans of vegetables. I got 2 cans of carrots and 2 cans of peas. Now I do know that these would be cheaper at another store, but if this was the only store that we had to go to, I would buy the generic brand so I would get more bang for my buck. These were 85 cents each. So I had four cans to add to the pantry. And pasta, spaghetti noodles. This was 2 pounds, $1 a piece. So 2 pounds for $2. Just a heads up, be careful. I noticed at the Dollar General store I could have bought a box of pasta that was 2 pounds, just one box, this is 2, for I think it was $2.45 for 2 pounds. Or you could pay $2 for 2 pounds and save yourself 45 cents. So watch out when you're out there shopping and prepping to pay attention to the prices. You know, at first I was like, okay, 2 pounds, this looks like a good deal. But then I stopped and thought about it and did the math on it. So I saved 45 cents for other preps. Might seem small, but every little penny counts. Elbow macaroni noodles. Yes, more pasta, but pasta is cheap. And it will fill your belly if you're starving. You can do a lot with pasta. Casseroles, soups, stews. Add it to meals to stretch it further. You can do a lot with pasta. And you also can add pasta to any of your broths that you have in your storage. So this is a 2 pound box. This box was cheaper as a 2 pound box than it was to get 2 1 pound boxes. Let's see. This was $2.25 for 2 pounds. The 1 pound boxes were $1.25 each. So I saved 25 cents on this particular item by buying the 2 pound box. So this was $2.25. You do a lot with pasta, and the pastas are shelf stable. They will last for a long, long, long time. And you don't have to use the whole box. Just use a little bit at a time. Rational it out. Stretch it. This is a good item to stretch your food with. And it's very frugal and very cheap. Let's see. I don't think I missed anything. That was the first. This is the first week. The challenge is $25 in 6 weeks. Now, I'm not sure if that's before taxes or after taxes. And the last item that I have is, well, not that one yet, is spaghetti sauce. This is the Hunt spaghetti sauce, garlic and herb. Yes, this is the challenge for people that are on lower incomes or limited incomes. May not have ways to can their food and make their own spaghetti sauce. So it's still a great idea to have canned foods, and if you have your pasta, you can make a lot of meals. Depending on how big your family is, you can make several meals from this one thing of spaghetti sauce. It's great to have on hand. Some quick ideas. Of course, spaghetti with or without meat. Pizza sauce. You can make chicken marinara with it. You can add it to some ground meat to make sloppy joes with it. There are lots of things you can do, and it's still good to have some pre-mixed foods in grid down situations or power outages. It would be much easier to just heat this up and add a can of your canned beef if you had beef. If not, just don't worry about it. And it would be simple to cook some noodles. It would be much quicker than just standing around waiting on the spaghetti sauce to get done. So this would be a great prep because it's already ready. Just heat and eat. And these were $1.45 each. So the challenge is only at the Dollar General store. And now the last item is bottled water. I went with the smaller bottles of water. That's what I generally get. Being around people in public places, and I used to work at a hunting lodge, they would pass out the big bottles of water, and I learned a very valuable lesson with that. Because I cleaned the lodge, people would drink 2 or 3 sips of their water and set their water bottle down, and then there were like tons of water bottles just sitting around that no one hardly even touched. Like they didn't even know whose bottle was who. So I've always gotten the smaller bottles so that we would waste less water. Now we do have a generator. We could hook it up to our well. We have a hand pump so we could get water in grid down situations or power outages or what have you. But water is important to have some water stored up. I will probably buy this every week that I go for the challenge just because it's that important. They're smaller bottles. They would be easier to put in your pocket or put in your purse, and it'd be a lot less waste. And you could add you some tang to it, so it would change the flavor. But another important reason to have bottled water, very important, is if there was an emergency and you needed sterile water to wash out a wound or wash out your eye or just whatever. You still need some type of sterile water. You're going to need sterile water in hard times and the Great Depression and stuff like that. Fresh water was a serious problem. If you didn't have fresh water, disease set in and people had infections. They lost limbs, lost fingers, because simply they had an infection. So it's good to have some bottled water on hand anyway, even if you have a well or generator or a hand pump for your water. It still needs some bottled water around the homestead. And it's good to put it in your car. We always keep a case in our car, so if we break down or someone else needs a bottle of water or we help someone or just whatever, we always have bottled water. And I like the smaller bottles because you do not waste near as much. Larger bottles are great too for cooking and whatever. But as far as just your own personal use, especially if you have small children, I would suggest getting the small bottles. But we ourselves, there's only adults here on the homestead now. The small bottles just seem to work better and you waste a lot less. So for this first week's challenge, my amount was $24.45. That was before taxes, so I'm not positive on that if it's before or after on the challenge, but it's right under the $25 mark. So hope you've gotten some good information and some good tips, and if anyone else wants to participate, feel free to do so. Just let me know in the comments below. So that's about it for today. Farewell, homestead family, friends, and neighbors, and thanks for joining me, and thanks to all the subscribers, and welcome all the new subscribers from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.